Take out what is in your wallet right now. For that piece of paper, you woke up at 6 this morning. To accumulate more of it, you endured unreasonable demands from your boss, sacrificed dinners with your family, and at times, even set aside your dignity. Statistics tell us the average person dedicates approximately 80,000 hours to labor over a lifetime. The compensation for all those hours is this paper. But what if this paper has no intrinsic value whatsoever? This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a fundamental principle of economics. There's a more uncomfortable truth. An era has arrived where those who work the hardest become the poorest. This is not because you lack ability. It is not because your efforts are insufficient. It is because the very nature of what you hold as money has changed. The rules were rewritten, and no one informed you. We are living in the middle of the greatest magic show in human history. The magicians on stage wear suits and testify before legislatures. Their illusions are packaged under the name of policy. We, the audience, applaud and believe it is all for our benefit. August 15th, 1971, a Sunday evening. At the hour when most citizens were enjoying their final moments of weekend rest, a man stood before cameras for an emergency television address. The moment he opened his mouth, the definition of money that humanity had trusted for millennia was completely overturned. The repercussions of that moment, half a century later, are inscribed in your paycheck and your bank balance today. What exactly happened that night? Why a Sunday evening? Understanding the answer to this question will give you an instinctive grasp of how this system operates. The announcement had to come before the world's financial markets opened Monday morning. It was designed to give other nations no time to respond. This was not a policy announcement. This was an ambush. Until that moment, the currency of this system stood upon a clear promise. A single bill was a certificate exchangeable for actual gold stored somewhere in a vault. A national covenant: bring $35, receive 1 ounce of gold. Because this promise existed, people trusted the paper. Upon that trust, they purchased homes, started businesses, and saved for their children's education. That night, the promise was unilaterally broken. The phrase temporary measure was attached, yet more than 50 years later, that temporary measure has never once been reversed. Here lies the first lesson. When a government says temporary, it typically means permanent. The context behind this decision must be understood. Throughout the 1960s, this system simultaneously ran large-scale military operations abroad and expansive domestic welfare programs. Under the banner of guns and butter together, the government spent far more than what its vaults held. The problem was that other nations noticed. They began arriving with ships full of paper currency demanding the promised exchange for gold. The vaults emptied rapidly. Only 2 choices remained: reduce spending and honor the promise, or break the promise and gain unlimited freedom to spend. From a political standpoint, which choice was more attractive is self-evident. From that moment, currency was severed from substance. The value of a bill is no longer backed by gold bars in a vault. Only collective faith in the system sustains its worth. Economists call this fiat money. In Latin, it means let it be done. When a government declares this is money, the declaration itself makes it so. Here, the true paradox reveals itself. The moment the constraint of gold was removed, the government gained unprecedented power. When the economy slows, print money. When war requires funding, print money. When elections approach, print money. And that is precisely what has been done. Since 1971, the money supply in this system has increased approximately 25-fold. During the same period, the growth in actual economic output falls far short of that figure. Where did this gap go? It quietly drained from the purchasing power of your diligently accumulated savings. While you slept at night, while you vacationed on weekends, the dilution never stopped. This is the fundamental design of the modern monetary system, a structure unfavorable to those who save, advantageous to those who borrow, a game where diligence is penalized and leverage is rewarded. What makes this fascinating is that none of it is secret. It is published policy, recorded history, and data anyone can verify. Yet most people spend their entire lives without understanding this mechanism. Why is this not taught in schools? The answer to that question is worth contemplating on your own. The shackles have been removed. Governments can now create as much money as they desire. Textbooks describe this as flexible monetary policy. But in the next chapter, we will demonstrate with concrete numbers exactly what that flexibility has done to your real purchasing power. A hamburger that cost 25 cents in 1970 now costs over $5. Is that because the value of the hamburger increased 20-fold? Or is it because the value of the currency in your pocket has fallen by that magnitude?